what's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. Kyle is here as well. Kyle, how are you tonight?
Doing super. How are you?
Doing great. And we are very excited. It has been a while since we have been joined by our guest tonight, and he is a beloved guest in the On a Couch Talking Sports group of guests that we've had over the years. Our buddy Craig is back. Craig, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm fired up. I'm just fired up. I'm feeling great. Just finished Tiger King.
I was about to say, I was getting ready to say you got a kick-ass background of good old Joe Exotic. Yeah.
Oh, this?
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Completely. Yep. This is not a virtual background. This is on my room. This is my room.
Okay.
Right,
all right. Cool. That's pretty kick-ass upgrade you got there. I must say.
Amazing story. It was amazing story. A cinematic masterpiece of personality, deceit, violence. Oh, it was just magical. It was a truly wild.
Yeah, I've heard great things as someone who, honestly, myself has not seen it yet. I've heard such fantastic reviews, and
the only thing I can compare to it is On a Couch Talking Sports. It's just very similar.
The same pizzazz level. It's the same.
More than but pizzazz over 9,000. It's over 9,000. I'm fired up. Happy to be here.
By the way, I think only the three of us and maybe a couple other people watching got that reference, so we'll leave
over
it at
9,000.
I think everyone got that reference.
It's all for my Vegeta fans. Napa gone too soon. Rip.
Yeah. No, I was talking about the pizzazz reference, but
pizzazz, even better. Another great reference. Jack Havoc, if you're watching, hit me up. I miss you.
Yeah,
I gotta text him.
Yeah, I gotta ask before we get started with the episode. So obviously, one of the biggest influences for our show, as we've talked about several times, was the Craig Show, aka It's Not Your Show. Obviously, it's been a couple of years, unfortunately, since you guys have recorded episode. How have you come out of the Craig Show withdrawal yet?
Yeah, I think it's ended. I'm also the type that, never say never, but I think it ran its course. I'm kind of becoming I'm sure you guys can attest, kind of an old dude now. I don't got much left in the tank.
Aren't we all? We're a third of the way through life and just going all downhill from here.
I'm just working hard to get my number in the rafters, and that part of the career might be over. I might have to switch to the coaching side of it. I don't know what that's going to look like, but you work hard, you stay fired up. Tiger King. It's just like Tiger King.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
You live long enough and you see yourself going down these paths, and you got to write that course. Just like Joe Exotic, he didn't recognize what was going on, but you as a human have to recognize the path you take and how it affects you. And things change, but you never say never.
Strong words. I mean,
sometimes
I feel like
you just gotta get a tiger. Sometimes
exactly.
you gotta get a tiger.
Yeah, I mean, it really between the Tiger King and then one episode of Law and Order SVU I saw one time where a guy randomly had a tiger in his apartment. I mean, just every.
I heard. Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do an SVU podcast? I feel like you'd be like a good person for that.
I mean, I have this plethora of SVU knowledge that I'm waiting to share with the world, along with many other crime dramas that I have partaken in over the years. So maybe that's a spinoff. Maybe I need to. There you go. Yeah, I don't know, something. The title is in the works, but
well, you have this podcast. You have Sports Blitz. Am I correct?
Sports Blitz. Yes, you're correct. Thank you.
Is there a third? Is there a third?
No, just those. Right now, just those two. Those two.
I eagerly await the next installment of the Robbie Johnson Extended Universe, and I hope it is an SVU podcast.
Oh, Craig, you've given me the inspiration between your quotes and just bring it up right there.
I'm fired up. Yeah. I'm so happy to be here.
I can tell you if you're fired up. I can tell. I'm fired up that you're fired up. So let's get into it. So obviously, for those of you who watched last episode, you know that we took sort of a dive into Kyle's Wheaton track background. We discussed his sophomore season last season, and tonight we are going to discuss his junior season, the 2011 Wheaton track season. And Craig,
2011, great year.
Yeah, even though Craig was not a Wheaton track athlete, Craig has the unique position of having been Kyle's roommate for that glorious 2011 years. So he is going to provide us with some behind-the-scenes looks at Kyle's mental state and just all that went into Kyle's fantastic 2011 Wheaton season. So
You're right. I'm in a unique position. I'm very similar to Eric Good and Rebecca Chalkin, who are the directors of Tiger King, who were in a unique perspective to comment on that situation. And I am in that roadblock. I'm in that driver's seat now. I can provide a plethora of firsthand experiences and accounts.
Perfect.
Happy to be here, fired up.
Can't wait to hear it. But I am going to throw it to the man himself, Kyle. First of all, Kyle, just again, to start off here, some overall general thoughts when you look back, Kyle, at your junior track season 2011. Just sort of what comes to mind right off the bat.
I gotta say, as you know, the overall, that was a great year. Aside from me breaking my PS2, I clearly remember breaking my PS2. I think I tripped over the wire and it flew out of the drawer that I kept it in. It was really bad. That was the worst part of the year. But aside from that, it was one of the best, probably one of, if not the best years in college. And honestly, I think it was actually my favorite season of track, to be honest, too. I had a really good indoor season, great outdoor season. The setup was pretty much like sophomore year, where we had our throwing coach, who was there last season, who was new during our sophomore year, Coach Delgado. He came back for this year. Unfortunately, it was, I believe, it may have been his last year, I think, because he was just like a visiting coach for a bit. He just kind of helped us out for a while. And he was, like I said in the last episode, he was one of the best coaches I've ever had. He was incredible. He even, actually, one thing I forgot to mention, if we had like a really good meet, if we all like improved our times or our throws or whatever, he would give us these like giant Snickers bars. It was really cool.
Wow. I could go for a giant Snickers bar at this moment. But
great comment, Robbie. Fire it up. That was a great comment.
Yeah, so I mean,
you said what I was thinking. I want a giant Snickers bar, man.
I know. I'm hungry for Snickers. You're not yourself when you're hungry, so you got to eat a Snickers. I'm sure Joe Exotic eats Snickers when he's.
Oh, you're stealing my thunder, you son of a bitch.
It's always gotta happen once in one of these episodes. I steal somebody's thunder and copyright infringement. But yeah, Kyle. So I just remembered this. I actually am in sort of a unique position as well because I actually got to see you in action at one of your meets that season at the Solomon Invitational against Northeastern at the good old.
I do remember that.
Craig.
What a good memory! What a great memory!
Great memory, aka the schedule that I printed out off the internet. State's
Great research skills.
divulging state secrets here. This occurred 5 minutes before we came on air. But yeah, I actually got to see you in action, and that tournament was always, or that meet I should say, was always really fun because it was right down the road in Dedham, which is very easy to get to. And I think it was raining though that day, which wasn't that great, but it was still a lot of fun to be a part of and to see you in your throwing glory and all of that. And I mean, it was what I guess before I want to get Craig in here. Before I do, I do want to ask you about that specific meet because I don't think we really talked about a whole lot last time. Just sort of what were your thoughts about competing at that meet, and definitely a cool experience. I mean, obviously having me there must have been the highlight, but other than that, how was that meet for you that season?
Pause for a sec. Dope nickname, Robbie the Highlight Johnson. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, there we go. I am the human highlight reel. There we go.
No, just the highlight.
Just
because
the highlight.
It's like ambiguous. Yeah, it's the highlight.
Like,
It's like it's up to interpretation.
Double thumbs. There we go. I like it. Anyway, Kyle, thank you, Craig. Love that. Writing that down. But Kyle, what were your thoughts on that meet?
It was great. It was a lot of fun. You're right. I think I remember the year that the first time we went to Dedham. That was like back in, or at least I think it was back in maybe when I was a sophomore year. It was a bit of a sunnier meet, and you're right. The one that happened that year was a little bit rainier, but hey, it was still a great meet. You got to deal with adversity. So hey, it's part of being in track. So it was really cool. You're right. It was great seeing you there and everything. I'm really happy you watched me throw discus and shot put.
Yeah, I did. And that little infield there that they had over to the side, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Having another person in the audience that you knew, a familiar face, did that improve your performance?
Oh, good question.
Ooh. I think a little bit, yeah. It's kind of nice when you have people like that watching you. I think my dad was there too. A couple of those.
He was. I remember. I was talking to him. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. So you had 2 doses of inspiration to go out and just kick ass in that meet that day. So it was a perfect storm of
oh my god, totally
of fandom. So yeah, no, that was, like I said, that was always really cool coming because I think I went twice. I went your freshman year and I went your junior year.
Oh, so that's right, freshman year. I keep getting those mixed up. You're right. It was freshman, junior. It was just kind of like interesting because it was like going back home because at the time that was actually close to where I used to live. So I was like, oh, okay. It was just kind of funny because like all these other meets, we'd go like 3 hours to Dartmouth or like some other school. We even went to Tufts actually. So it was the first time that I think I ever been to like the Medford area.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Snowflake Classic.
Yes.
At Tufts. Yeah, the good.
Was it snowing?
I hope it wasn't snowing on April 2nd, but you never know with New England weather.
Why was it called the Snowflake Classic? What's the name of that? Why the Snowflake Classic?
You got me, Craig. I have no idea.
Wait, Robbie, you just threw that out there?
It's on the schedule. It says at Snowflake Classic. Are you sure
you have the right schedule?
I do have the right.
Classic?
The Snowflake Classic. Here. Yeah, I'd hold it up to the camera, but I'd probably mess it up somehow. But
I just realized that I'm truly a horrible human being because I've been addicted to Tiger King the past couple months. I've been neglecting On the Couch Talking Sports. I haven't watched the previous episode to prepare. I also realized back in 2011, I haven't progressed. I was still a horrible human being because I never went to one of Kyle's meets. So I have made I've only made lateral movements. That being said, Kyle, I don't think we've ever talked about this. Were you a shuffler, a spinner, a standing thrower, or a glider thrower?
Ooh, good question. Good question.
Because there's different styles, and I'm knowledgeable in throwing. So that's I don't know if this was covered last episode, but go ahead.
No, it was not. That was just an amazing question. Amazing question.
Hey, I'm happy to be here.
Fireball question right there. I love that.
Nice.
Craig Fireball. That's
Right.
your. If I'm highlight your Fireball. There you go.
Well, I will say to begin with, I was always a spinner when it came to the weight and the hammer. That's kind of the only way you really can do it. They don't really have any shuffle options, unfortunately, because you have to like spin that thing over your head all the time.
Hammer, you can't do that. Right. Hammer's kind of locked in.
Yeah. Although I will say when I did start the hammer and the weight, because I didn't have the experience that a lot of the Rhode Island students, my Rhode Island teammates had, because they were able to throw the hammer and the weight in high school. And in Massachusetts, we couldn't do that. So for whatever reason, I don't know if it was legal. I don't know, all different state rules and everything.
When you threw shot put, did you spin?
So that's actually an interesting story. Yeah. So when I first started shot put, no. All throughout high school, and I want to say the beginning of college, I actually was a shuffler. I was a shuffle shot putter. Sometimes I do it standing, but usually I try shuffling because you want to get some kind of push off of it. But eventually, my track coach and actually my other teammates even got me into doing the spinning. And it was a bit of progression. It's a very different mentality, even from when you spin in discus. Because I was always a spinner in discus too.
It's a different way you hold it, so it's going to affect how you throw it.
Exactly. Yeah, because you're not kind of like.
Yeah, Robbie, I know what the hell I'm talking about.
I mean, why am I even here? I mean, it's like you two got this down to pat.
I will 100% take over this episode if you watch Tiger King. And we can have a Tiger King podcast and an SVU podcast.
I am so down for that.
But actually, I have a Tiger King question for you.
Oh,
would Joe Exotic, the different forms that you just mentioned, if Joe Exotic was a thrower, a track thrower, which specific move would he use?
Unbelievable question. Kyle, have you seen Tiger King?
Oh yeah, all of it except for the epilogue. I haven't seen the epilogue episode. I've just seen like the main season.
It was okay, but anyway, the main season was great. I'm gonna give my answer, and then Kyle, you can give your answer, and we can talk it out. He's 100% a spinner. He would spin. Joe Exotic would be a spinner.
I have to agree with you there, Craig. I was just thinking about that. Even before you said it, I was like, spinner. Yeah, I don't know. I could just see him doing it more.
There is mind meld. There's a theatricality to the spin that shows a level of power, which I think he would be attracted to, in that he typically liked to demonstrate his power on the zoo. So I think, and he was a very theatrical person. He sang a song, literally lip synced a song at his lover's funeral, which was insane. So there is a lot of things that are, so I think he would spin. I think he would be good at it. Honestly, Kyle, I was never a spinner. I never mastered the spin. So hearing you do it is an impressive feat. You're an impressive man.
By the way, having never seen the Tiger King yet, I completely agree that he would be a spinner. I mean,
Robbie,
sold me on it.
You're full of shit.
Always.
That was so mean. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You know what, Craig? I will say this: that you're our pal, but just don't mess with the highlight here, because I do have.
Don't poke the tiger. Don't poke the
tiger, man. Because I'll mute you in a second. There we go. See? Oh wait, I just muted Kyle by accident. There we go. Now we're good. Come on, unmute.
I was gonna pick stay muted. Stay muted now.
That'd be funny if you just post and it just mutes it.
Yeah, if I was able to make that happen, I would not be hosting this co-hosting the show.
Did you continue to spin in college, Kyle?
What's up?
Did you continue to do the spinning in college and then just try to master it?
I did, yeah. I started it back in, I think it was like freshman or sophomore year of college, because I just did like the side shuffle the whole time in high school. Oh. But then the spin, after seeing remember Rob, you'll remember him. You remember that kid Thomas we talked about from the football
Oh yeah,
episode?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Obviously.
Mostly high legend, of course. Good
Oh
old
yeah.
Thomas
So
Claiborne.
also along with being an amazing football player, he was actually a really exceptional thrower, and he actually did the spin too. So when I saw him, I was like, oh wow, like I'd never seen anyone really do that because when you're in a high school level, you kind of start simple. But when I get to college, I'm like, you know what? No, I'll master the spin. I think that'll be a fun thing to do.
So I'm going to show you my psychic abilities. I've never met this man you're speaking of. But I'm going to guess in high school, he was either a defensive tackle or a defensive end, and he was a left tackle on offense.
Ooh. I mean,
Did I nail it?
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a defensive tackle.
All right, now hold on. I want to test. I want to ask one more question to test Craig's psychic abilities. Now, this man that we have discussed, the enigma that is Thomas Claiborne, actually went on to play Division I college football. Using your psychic abilities, can you name the college that he attended?
I don't know. Sorry, what division?
Division I. Division I.
Okay, Division I. Did he start? Was he on the practice squad or was he?
He was like a backup. He was for most of his career. He was a backup. I'll help your psychic abilities by saying it is a big time D1 school, a big conference, I should say.
Oh man. I'm drawing. Hold on, let me channel it.
I am trying.
Why? Hold on, I'm getting colors. Hold on, I'm getting colors.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm getting colors. I'm getting orange. I'm getting orange. Nope. Okay, it's not orange. I'm just gonna go with Notre Dame.
Sorry, maybe it was just a signal issue, just for a second there. I'll give you closer to where you grew up than Notre Dame.
Like how close?
Same state.
It's not Boston College because
it is Boston College.
It is okay.
It is College. Yes.
That was my second. That was my fucking second choice.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling that
because I was like, in my head, I was like, no, that's too easy. That's too easy. And then I overthought it like I usually did, and I thought orange. You want to know why I thought orange? Because of fucking Tigers. Because I've been watching Tiger King so much. The orange is on my mind. Second, I did second. I did good. That's all I got.
There you go. Silver medal is not that bad, man. Silver medal.
Top 2% of people in the world want a silver medal.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Perfect. You're among elite company. There we go.
Nailed it.
Now I do want to throw another question out there to Craig, going back to the topic at hand, because like I said in the open, Craig has the unique position of having been Kyle's roommate during that 2011 season. And so I want to know, Craig, what was it like? Yeah, thumbs up, exactly. What was it like, being roommates with Kyle during his track season that season, and just what did you see out of him sort of behind the scenes during those months where he was, battling and, going through that grueling track season?
Well, thumbs up, fired up. Thumbs up, fired up.
Hey, fireball.
Fireball, thumbs up, fired up, fireball. So the way I can answer that is I didn't see a lot because he wasn't around, because he was so dedicated to practice.
Right.
So, and I played rugby in college.
True.
So
that's true. Yeah, that's true. We got to bring that up. A little, we got to go further into depth in that, in a little bit. But yeah, no, definitely.
So what happened was this kid. So I was a club sport athlete. I'm lazy. I just do 2 hours a week of stuff, and then I have a game on Saturday or Sunday. This kid, on the other hand, he was up 5:30 a.m., 5 to 6 a.m. gone, practicing.
He was telling us last time he had to go to some of those meets on the road. He'd have to be up, 5 o'clock in the morning, just
And not to mention, they'd practice at like 6:30 a.m. or
Right.
7 a.m. on weekdays, every day.
Yeah.
So
we had like some of the days we actually woke up early to go to the weight room actually, so we had to do our like throwers lifting.
Pumping that iron,
pumping that iron. Yep.
Lifting things up, putting them down. There you go. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Really.
Picking things up and putting them down. Ridiculous, man.
Making those highlights,
That's right. So I wouldn't see him. So he'd be gone picking things up. And I'm saying that's unreal.
That's going to be my next podcast is just reviewing old-time commercials from Planet Fitness.
Yep. There you go. Unreal. So he'd be gone super early. I'd go to class. I always ate I rarely ate in the dining hall because I don't like eating around people unless I have a crew. So I always so I'd go to class, I'd get my lunch, and I'd come back to the room, and I'd eat my lunch in the room. He would be there he just got back taking a shower, and then he'd be like, all right, going to class. And he was the definition of a student athlete. He kept going. So I'd see him maybe 2 minutes. I'd see him. So, okay, bye, Kyle. See you later. And I'd do the rest of my day. 4 o'clock comes along. I go to rugby practice. Then I get dinner with the team. Hey, what's up?
We have a special guest appearance.
Oh, hey.
By the way, another Wheaton College alum, right?
Wow,
here.
unreal. Fired up.
Sarah.
Very
good.
Hi, Sarah.
I have my headphones on, so you can't hear.
I can hear her. You can hear her.
For a second.
Oh, she can't hear us. Hi, Sarah.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good.
You fired up?
Yes.
Good.
All right.
We got the Jedi Master Fireball at highlight. Yeah, we're all.
It's Tiger King.
I know exactly. Craig was just enlightening us during the episode.
You see Tiger King?
Tiger King.
No, I've heard mixed reviews.
Who gave mixed reviews?
Well,
That's insane.
Half of my coworkers said that it was really awful, and half of my coworkers said that it was really great.
I love half of your coworkers. I despise half of your coworkers. They got to get their reality check.
Thanks, great special guest right there. Just
she was
pops it out of the door. Yeah, exactly.
Where does she work now?
She works for the Baltimore Orioles, Major League Baseball. She's been working for home since March. Home, which was Washington, D.C., now is our actual home, physical home.
Oh, wow. Good for her. Wow. She should be on the show. Jeez.
She's been a special guest a few times.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, if that's an episode just on like her job, I think that would be really cool.
That would be really cool. Again, just ideas,
sports is just so ingrained in your family, and it's nice to see that you guys do great things with sports, just like how Tiger's really ingrained to his family, and he made it a family business. I hope you don't go down the same path as him with this, but I think who's the guy that does Sports Blitz with you? What's his name?
Doug.
I was gonna say Dan. I was close.
Yeah.
Doug. I don't want you to put a hit out on Doug. I don't want that. Doug's a good guy.
I don't want to end up behind bars,
Or Eben. You remember Eben Diskin? Don't put a hit out on Eben Diskin. He tries.
I got nothing against Eben Diskin personally, but
Wow.
I'm not gonna put any hits on Jack Havoc, The Rock, Joe Mike. Everybody's okay as far as I'm concerned. Everybody's okay.
So anyway. What was I talking about?
What were we talking about?
I was going to dinner at 4 o'clock with my team. Yeah. I see him. I say, hi, Kyle. I see him getting dinner. I say, oh, hi. I come back at 6 o'clock. He's in the shower again, studying afterwards. I don't see him till 8 o'clock.
Student athlete.
So that's my answer is I didn't see him because he was a dedicated athlete.
Again, Student athlete. Student athlete.
I
Put in
suspected.
that work. Put in that work.
I never saw this. But I would have things in my room that would equate to the weight of a shot put, a printer, a computer screen. And sometimes I come back and they had looked like they'd been thrown across the room.
Ooh.
So I never verified that. But I wonder if this guy was so dedicated that he was throwing shit in his sleep.
Maybe.
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me.
He's a dedicated guy, and he was a great. That's what it was like living with him. And then when track series ended, he was fine. He was playing video games the whole time.
There you go.
What can we visit something that might be a little off topic?
Of course.
Could we talk about
Not like we don't do that a lot on this show to begin with.
Can we talk about how devastating it was that your PS2 broke?
That was pretty devastating, Craig. I'm not going to lie.
The only thing I can compare it to is when the alligator hut burnt down in Tiger King, and then just everything shut down, and he had to raise funds, and he was really sad that the alligators died and it burnt down. He lost all of his videos. Much like you were. It was almost debilitating what occurred.
Yeah,
it was. I sunk a lot of hours into that machine, and that was how we watched our movies as well. Because as we all know, PS2 can play video games and DVDs.
We did watch it. That is an excellent point that I forgot.
So seeing that wonderful machine broken, it was very devastating. Yes, agreed.
How did it break? Remind me.
I believe that was my fault, if I remember correctly. I think I may have tripped on the wire.
I thought it was my fault. Okay.
I think that was more my fault. I remember I was there. Our friend Jeff was there too, and I think we were going to set up either a movie or a game. And then I remember the way it was the wire was like set up I think the wire was like hanging down because I had to like put it in a drawer and then plug it into the wall. So the wire was like sticking out, and then I ended up tripping on it, and then it just kind of flew out of where it was, and then just landed on the ground.
When that PS2 hit the ground, where did you feel the pain?
Everywhere.
Wow. Pervasive.
We just got deep. We just got deep.
Yeah. Here the most. Right here.
Right in the heart.
Yep, that was where it hurt the most. Everywhere it hurt, but then
did it start there or did it end there? Like you felt the pain, it just all went right there, or did it? Oh, it's there and then spread out across your body.
Both.
Wow.
Oh boy. Oh.
Devastating. That PS2. Did you? Where did you ever? Did we replaced it? I'm pretty sure you did.
Oh yeah, I think I would buy it like a week later.
Yeah. Jeff Cash was there though. Another great
Jeff Cash was there.
Shout out Jeff Cash. Great guy.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah.
Jeff Cash, I'm trying to put him in Tiger King, but you know what? That guy's beyond a reference to a show. He's in his own thing. So he's in his own category. So I would never demean his stature by putting him in Tiger King.
Now, Kyle, before we get too far off topic here, which we're probably going to do in just a minute here, but any other thoughts on that 2011 on your 2011 track season?
I mean, it was probably my favorite season, honestly, because living with Craig was friggin' incredible. I loved having Craig as a roommate again because we were actually roommates for one semester back in freshman year, which was also amazing. Right. So
that's right.
Having that.
We have always lived in the same building together.
Oh yeah, we did. You're right, because even sophomore year we lived in Young. I remember. Yeah, that's right.
And then we lived in Chapin together, and then you lived above me in Stanton.
Oh, that's right, because that's when you. Why do I have a wireman? Jeez. Sorry, video game systems. I'll show you right here. These are my video game systems.
Oh, here we go. Fire it up.
Go. Yeah. Okay.
Where's the PS2?
PS2? It is right here. This is my slim one. See, I got the slim
full circle. Right full circle. Oh yeah. It's still good.
Can't not have a PS2. Yeah, that's right. Because you lived with Eben, right?
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was great.
By the way, that year I remember Kyle, Craig, and I during one of my visits to Wheaton, sat down and watched. It was my first time seeing this movie, The Waterboy, and my life has never been.
Was I there for that?
Yeah, we watched it.
Yeah.
We watched it in your room.
Oh yeah, we watched it with you and Jeff, and I think Tim was there too. Or Tim was maybe like in and out.
Yeah.
I don't remember it. Wow. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't. What? Oh, it was in our dorm. It was in our dorm.
Yeah.
It was in my room when I was living with Jeff. Is that what
Yeah,
you said?
when you guys had the triple,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct. Sophomore year. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, that's what it was.
We
I was
watched
trying
the
to picture the room.
Water Boy, and my life has never been the same.
Yes, that was great.
Great movie. Great
Great.
sports
Waterboy
movie.
podcast.
What? Yeah, another great
Ooh,
podcast idea.
Have you ever done a sports movie podcast? Like
We've
an episode?
done episodes on this show and on the Sports Blitz about sports movies. We actually had Kyle on as a special guest for the Sports Blitz movie episode. So
that was like your Avengers.
that's right. Yeah,
Like everything interactive. The sports movie.
exactly.
That was like our Avengers Endgame or Infinity War, depending on how you. Yeah.
What am I the Thanos of this universe? Like if I come in and like, we should do like a sports trivia episode, and I'll host, and it's you two versus each other.
Oh,
that would be really cool. Well, the other thing is, I still think that we need to get a greatest guess sort of episode, like combo episode of Craig and Doug. I think that would be. That would be just.
I follow Doug on
absolute
Instagram.
gold.
I follow Doug on Instagram. I message him probably once every 6 months saying, "When are we doing this?"
Yeah, no, we need that. That is going to happen. I'm saying that right now. Mark it down. 8:45 p.m. on Thursday, July 9th, 2020. That episode is going to happen, and it is going to happen in the near future.
That's our end game. That's our end game.
Yes, I was just thinking that. That is 100% going to be end game.
Can't wait.
Craig, I wanted to ask you, since we kind of brought it up earlier, you were a member of the Wheaton rugby team during your time at Wheaton College. What was that like for you to take people who may not, really know the sport of rugby or, sort of understand the sport of rugby, what it is like to be part of a rugby team and a rugby match?
So the best way I can describe rugby is it's the bastard child of soccer and football.
Yeah, makes sense.
My experience playing that, we didn't have fraternities or sororities.
Right.
But the rugby team felt like the closest thing to a fraternity of like we were all bonded and brothers and playing this game, and I keep in touch with almost all, like a lot of them still, it was, I don't know, there's just so many it's quite unlike any sport I've played before, in that you're constantly moving and constantly head on a swivel. I played my first time I ever. This is a weird story. The first time I ever played.
This is a weird show, so you're the perfect place.
Fire it up, First time I ever played was I was literally walking by them doing a game, and they looked at me like, "You want to come play?" And I was like, "Fine." And I was legitimately wearing jean shorts. It's 2008. Jean shorts were kind of cool, I guess. Maybe not. Were they cool? I don't know. I played in jean shorts.
I have no opinion on them. So
yeah,
you made them cool, Craig. Let's put it that way.
I don't know why I didn't change into something else. And then I
because you were fired up. You were fired up. You're just like, I just gotta go.
Robbie, I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. That's
exactly.
the kind of thing. Much like Joe Exotic stays ready all day on the zoo and just doesn't prepare. He just fired up all day, getting shit done, tending to the Tigers, much like me here. But yeah, no, they handed me the ball at one point and they told me to run. And being a football player, being a lineman who was never allowed to touch the ball, I looked at them and said, "What? To run?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I'm playing every game now."
There you go. There
That's
you
awesome.
go. Now, did you guys go like play other schools? Like how?
Yeah,
did
we
it work?
played all over the place. We played different schools.
Did you guys ever play Babson? Because I know they have a pretty big rugby.
We did play
Club.
Babson. We did play
Yeah,
Babson.
yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause I've
they were
seen
like
them a few times playing like on
we
the
were
field
friendly.
there.
We were friendly with Babson. We were friendly with definitely them. We actually, I think, partied with them afterwards because we had a good relationship.
Did
Roger-
you ever get a rug? Did you ever? You may have been gearing up to answer this anyway, but did you ever get into like? Was there ever a match where like things got like really heated?
Roger Williams.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Roger Williams, bunch of jerks. I almost was going to say a worst word, but there was two guys in particular that started stuff. There was one little guy who had like a little mohawk who kept
Okay.
like starting crap, and then there was this big boy. He was big, and he just kept forearm shivering people, and we ended up like almost fighting them.
Wow.
That one was bad, and then Stonehill versus Stonehill, we were bad. We were losing by big, and we just started fucking around and doing stupid shit, and someone ended up slide tackling someone, which and got a red
You
card.
said it was a combo between soccer and football, so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
But generally speaking, we had okay relationships with with other teams, except for Roger Williams. They were generally disliked though by a lot of people.
Oh, well, it just
Yeah, we played Bentley, we played Franklin Pierce, we played WPI, UMass Dartmouth, a lot of different places.
Oh, nice.
Now, my question is, and I don't profess to have watched a lot of rugby, but my question is, what is it like being? I've always wondered, what is it like being in a scrum? I've always found the scrum so interesting. Whenever I watch rugby, take us. This is gonna sound really weird. Take us inside a scrum.
It can either depending on what occurs, it can be a beautiful experience or a horrible experience. In that if you are
Explain it just very quickly. Explain the scrum to people who don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Explain to people what a scrum is.
A scrum occurs when essentially when a ball is dropped or a ball is dropped forward, a knock we call it. So a scrum occurs at that point where both teams have their tight eight, which are usually the 8 biggest guys, basically slam into each other, hold each other up, and a ball is thrown out, and then 2 guys in the middle fight for the ball with their legs. So that's what it's like. So it looks like this. It looks like that, and then 2 guys fighting for their legs.
With no helmet.
No,
Like,
you can have a scrum cap. You have a scrum cap, which is like a light helmet, but it's not really doing much. But no helmet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you literally have to aim for the holes between the guys. So we have what is called a tight head prop, and a tight head prop, was a guy that would put his head between 2 other guys' heads. And then a loose head prop would put his head outside the last guy's head. So it literally would look like that,
Yeah.
So the props are in the front. The locks put their heads next to our butts, essentially. The flankers hook up to the locks on the end. And then behind the locks is the 8-man who's pushing at the end. So if you're winning, or if everything goes smoothly and you lock up smoothly, it's not horrible. It's horrible, but it's not like hurting because you're using each other's weight against each other and pushing. If you are completely getting dominated, it sucks because you are just like getting smushed all in one.
Yeah.
If you are winning and dominating, it feels great because nothing's happening to you.
Right.
So that's what it was.
Were you more dominant or more dominated, would you say, during
We had a really good scrum. We always had a good scrum.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
What about you personally?
I feel like I did okay typically. There was a couple times when the worst thing that happens is if you miscalculate a bit and you hit someone's head full on, which can happen.
Yeah.
So that happened to me. I hit someone's head, then locked in and was woozy, and then
Yeah.
getting pushed like, and then you're like screwed up, you know?
Yeah, I can
And then,
imagine.
and then there's another time you're just going against a big dude and you're just like getting destroyed and it sucks. And you're like, well, I got to do better next time.
No, like I said, I've always found rugby to be such an interesting sport, and like as long as we had you on, I was like, I mean, it was.
I've always felt I've always felt it's safer than football. I feel like because there's more emphasis on tackling rather than big hits, you know?
And technique too, like the proper technique. Because you played football, obviously, and you played rugby. What sport would you say you enjoyed more just in your time playing it?
You know, I was just thinking that, and I enjoyed both of them, to be honest with you. I think I had a better experience on the rugby team because the coaches were better and the teammates were better.
I was about to say, you've told me stories about your high school football coaches. So I've texted Craig that his high school made it to like the state championship game of football over the last couple of years, and he just like is like, oh, okay.
I don't have a strong connection to them. I loved playing, you know. I really did love playing, but they kind of sucked the energy of me. Our team was bad, our coaches were bad. It just wasn't a great experience. But I love playing the sport. I had the opposite experience in rugby where everyone was nice. We had decent teams usually, and people stood in contact with each other.
That's awesome. I mean, that's
you guys look like you had a really tight team there. I remember even like sophomore year, or no, I think it was freshman year. I remember they had you guys going through all these like different like trials and stuff like that. Like you guys had like just so many.
We had team building events. We would have team building events where we have to do problem solving events with our team.
Yeah, and you guys had all these like activities, and like I've never seen that even in like a football community. Even like I feel like even we like. You know, my high school football team, you know, as great as they were, like, we had never done anything like that, like the way you guys did. Like, that was so cool just seeing you guys, you know, and hearing all the stories. And, you know, honestly, I feel bad. Because I know he brought up about that you didn't go to any of my track meets. I don't think I've actually been to any of your games either. I don't think I've, I guess we're on the same boat in that.
Both horrible people. Both horrible.
But I will say that. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Where Kyle and I are both horrible people, much like all the people in Tiger King. No one made it out unscathed. Everyone didn't look great. And much like Tiger King, we are revealing the layers that both me and Kyle have a positive side, but we have dark sides, and we let each other down. And I apologize for that, Kyle.
I will say this though. I will say this, and I'm so happy that you guys, you know, I mean, the love and the sort of the apologeticness in this room is palpable. I will say this, is that you guys, from what you're telling me, really do both seem to have had great sort of team chemistry experiences with your respective sports, which I think is awesome. Because, I mean, team chemistry and sort of that team cohesiveness is very important in sports. And I think that's awesome that you both sort of really enjoyed your team experiences at Wheaton, and you know, hopefully it made you better people in the long run. You know, despite despite your dark, you know, your sort of the darkness, I think it enlightens you both so much more than it has brought you down. I think it's awesome.
Well said, man.
So, as we sort of start to wrap things up here, Craig, we do have this sort of thing, and we've had you on as a guest so many times, and our segments with sort of our guests have sort of transitioned so many times, but we do want to continue one thing that we've always done, that is to give our guests a sort of final thought for the episode. It could be about anything at all. You know, the floor is yours. Words. What would you like your final thought to be?
I'm going to be the first. I don't know if I'm the first to ever do this, but I'm going to turn my final thought over to you two and ask you guys a question.
Okay.
Okay.
I
sweet.
want you to list from worst to best your top 5 big cats. Tiger, lion, panther, leopard, cheetah.
All right.
Top one.
So wait, are we going? So you said worst to first, right?
Worst to first.
All right. I would say leopard, panther, lion, tiger, cheetah.
So you're a cheetah guy.
I don't know why. I've just the speed of them, like the speed of the cheetah. I've always found so fascinating to watch. I've just always, I mean, I would not want to be anywhere in the vicinity of any of these 5 animals, but I'm very intrigued by the cheetah and just how just naturally fast a cheetah can be.
He's the wide receiver of the cat world.
Yeah, or would he be the running back?
I feel like you need a little bit more. I feel like a leopard would be more of a running back.
True,
like you need the
true.
speed, but you need to bust through. You know. I feel like the cheetah is like Randy Moss.
The cheetah is the Usain Bolt of the
well said.
the cat kingdom.
Why did you say leopard at number 5?
I said leopard at number 5. It's not even as much I don't like it as I just really, that was the cat that I have the least opinion, just sort of interest in.
It's not a hatred, it's an indifference.
Yeah, it's an indifference to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kyle, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm sorry. What were they? They were leopard,
tiger, lion,
Okay.
panther, leopard, cheetah.
Okay. Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I'll also start with leopard. Basically for the same reason as Robbie. I don't really know much about them. I'm very indifferent towards them. I would then say tiger as number 4. Tiger, I think, I don't know, like they're always talked about. I like to go for the underdogs when it comes to these things. So,
are you saying tigers are overrated? Are you saying tigers are overrated?
Yeah.
Wow, hot take.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. I just went there. Sorry, Tiger King. You're gonna have to. He's probably gonna go after me in this one, but he's gonna call me at least. So yeah, I'm gonna have to prepare my phone for that one. Then I would say, okay, so leopard, tiger. Maybe what were the other 3 again?
So you have leopard, tiger, cheetah, panther, lion are the last 3.
Okay, so this is tough. I mean, cheetahs are awesome. I mean, those 3 cats are awesome in completely different ways. All right, I'll just randomly. This one's gonna be no particular order. I guess I'll throw cheetahs. Lions, cheetahs, and then panther. Panther's number 1.
Wow, I was not expecting the panther to come out at number 1.
I don't know. There's just something cool about them. They're very unique. They're the only one that has they're like I feel like they're the most stealthy out of them, especially during night at nighttime. I don't know.
Did you guys grow up watching the TV show on Fox Kids called WMAC Masters? Did you guys ever watch that?
Can't say that I did.
No.
Kyle, it was a TV show, a martial arts TV show, but it was like professional wrestling. They'd have martial artists. All of them had different gimmicks. Like there was one guy called Superstar who was like Bruce Lee. There was one guy called the Machine who was like this guy that come out with machines and like would hit people. There was a guy on that. They called him Panther.
Huh.
He was pretty dope.
Nice. Well, maybe it's also because I like the movie Black Panther too, so maybe that also
Black
gave it
Panther,
the edge too.
Another great one. There was a lack of Panthers in Tiger King. That being said,
Yeah. Seriously, maybe if they do like a sequel series, that they can have like the Panther King or something like that. Maybe someone out there is like
Kyle Souza, Panther King.
Done.
It's Highlight, Fireball, and the Panther King.
Coming to a screen near you.
Excellent.
Well, that was. But so now let me turn it over to the master reviewer again, another nickname for Kyle, for another edition of the Sue's Reviews. Kyle, what do you want to review for us this week?
All right. So this week I was going to do part 2 of the time travel series. Last week I reviewed the TV show named Dark, which I'm hoping people are starting to see by now. Craig, I know you've
I finished it. I finished
you
it.
finished it?
Unreal.
Oh my God! I'm only on, I think, like episode 3. So we're taking our time with that, Jerome and I.
Last time we watched it, you were at 3. You haven't done any new ones? It's been like 2 weeks.
Well, actually, no. I think we did watch episode 4. I think
okay.
So we're like halfway there. So we're letting this one marinate a bit.
Okay.
So I was gonna, after, in light of talking about Dark, one of the best time travel TV shows of all time, I want to talk about a time travel video game called Time Spinner, and it's a type of Metroidvania. So for those of you who don't know what a Metroidvania is, it's a type of game. It's like a side-scrolling game, but it's not a level-based game. You're basically exploring this one giant area. So you go left to right, you have all these different rooms, you fight bosses. It's like an RPG kind of, and you gain abilities, you upgrade the abilities, you find new weapons and stuff like that. You look for treasure chests and fight all these different enemies. And it's a really great game because there's a past and a future section of this big map. So what you do is stuff that happens in the past will affect the future part of the map. So it's kind of like Zelda a little bit in that regard, Zelda Ocarina of Time, which is another major time travel game. I'll have to review that another time. No, this game, it's very similar to like the Castlevania series. I don't know if you guys have ever played Symphony of the Night, where you're Alucard and you're in the big castle exploring. It's a lot like that. Very similar graphics. It's a very fun game. It's one player only, but it's if you really like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, I think it's basically like the spiritual successor. You can play on PS4, Xbox One, Switch. It's a great game. I think it's about, like, I don't know, if you look on the eShop, it's about $20. But I'd say it's worth it. Or you can be like me and wait for the sale. That's what I always do. But it's a great game though. It took up a lot of my time recently. I just beat it. It even has like some alternate endings too. So you beat it once, but then you can go back and you can kind of further the story a little bit, even after the credits roll, and you find these secret bosses, and it's really great. It's a very great exploring type of RPG side-scrolling game. So I highly recommend it if you like that style. So
very cool, very cool. Thank you, Kyle.
I just not to steal Kyle's thunder, but I can make it look like the tigers ate my arm. I figured that out.
Oh boy,
so that looks dope, right? He's got my arm, and then the Tiger King's like, good boy.
By the way, I mean, I love the Tiger, the Tiger King background you put up, but I've also noticed throughout this episode that you have a really cool Rick and Morty themed shirt on, and like that is
Tiny Rick.
Yeah.
Let me out.
But I'm assuming you've. Yeah, because I know they've been in that what's it called, that Pringles commercial where I'm gonna sound awful for asking this, but the kid's name is Morty, right? The kid, where Morty is like taken over by like Pringles.
We're in a Pringles commercial.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. So now I'm gonna do my final thought. And my final thought, and Craig will appreciate this or understand this more than Kyle will, because as we've talked about in past episodes of Craig and I both have been baseball umpires. And so the good news right now, and sort of the midst of, all that's been going on, is that youth baseball has returned, albeit with a lot of guidelines and stuff like that. And so I've been able to finally get back into umpiring, which has been great. But one of the most tricky guidelines is that the umpires who usually ump behind the plate now call balls and strikes from behind the pitcher's mound, which is opened up just a lot of unique challenges. And the biggest challenge that I've experienced just in my first week of umpiring games this season is, again, Craig being a longtime umpire will understand, is ground balls down the third base line. Because when you are behind the pitcher's mound trying to judge a fair or foul ball down the third base line can be very tricky and frustrating, because obviously when you're behind the plate, you are right on the line, so you have a great view of it. But when you're behind the pitcher's mound, you're at an angle, and it just makes it just very, very difficult. Luckily, the coach has been very understanding of this difficulty, but it is just, it has brought a new sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Just sort of a little new quirk to umpiring this season.
New difficulty.
New difficulty. But it's great to have umpiring back, and I wouldn't trade having it for anything right now. But at the same time, it's like you definitely have to be much more on your toes in a lot of areas, especially when it comes to that one particular play, which is, it is very challenging when you're not right on the line. So
it reminds me of Tiger King. It reminds me of Tiger King when he wanted to do his own TV show and they would have the cameras going. It adds another difficulty, another tough dimension to the already chaotic nature of the zoo. So it adds a difficulty that you need to adapt to. Exactly. And it sounds like you're acknowledging it and you're going to adapt to it.
I 100%. You're right. And I mean, just with your fired up, just sort of wisdom and just positive mentality, I know I'm going to succeed.
Hey, resilience is defined as bouncing back from adversity, not a lack of adversity. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I know exactly what you're saying, and you nailed it. All right. Listen, Craig, thank you so much, as always. Thank you for enlightening us on the Tiger King.
People you got to watch Tiger King, Robbie. Please watch it. Send me a text. Rugby. Play some rugby.
But it's been great having you on, as always. You are our favorite guest, and we will definitely be having you back in the near future. Like I said, possibly for a little best of the guests, a little special. Again, just wanted to throw a little teaser out there. We're definitely going to make it happen. So like I said, thanks again, Craig. So as always, for Kyle and for Craig, I'm pointing to their boxes. I don't know if it's obvious or not, but I'm pointing to their boxes. To Kyle over here, Craig in the middle, at least on my computer screen. And I'm Robbie, obviously, signing off here once again for On a Couch Talking Sports.
Carol Baskins killed her husband.
Great way to end. We'll see you next time, everybody. Goodbye.